Okay. I have my perfect levels. I'm good to go. Are you ready, Henry?
I think I am.
Okay, cool. All right. Welcome, everybody. Today, we have a very special guest on the come up. And I hope that all of you Karens are listening. Yes, Karens, because we are here to speak to the manager. I'm here with the very talented and well-known talent manager, Henry Penzi. I'm going to read a couple things here just so we got it all right. Henry's career is very similar to mine, which is what we're going to discuss, but he has started as an assistant to an action star, and now he's in the management world, which is why we're here today. But Henry is one of the best to do it in his field. He lives in Los Angeles, the city of angels, the city of stars, and speaking of stars, Henry has a lot of stars in his management company. His company is called Penzi Management, and he reps people from Carmen Electra to Verna Davis, Joseph Banna, Rampage Jackson, one of my favorites, Rob Gronkowski, who we both had the pleasure with working with on the Hulu movie Boss Level, starring Frank Grillo, Mel Gibson, Naomi Watts.
Yeah, that was fun.
So much to get into here. Henry Penzi, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
All right. So, Henry, first off, thank you so much for allowing me to come into your home and set all this up. And if you could see the cameras right now, you'd see there's a lot going on right now. I spent the last little bit getting this ready, but I appreciate your patience and allowing me into your home. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I wanted to get off and just start right off the bat. Can you tell us what being a manager is and how important is it to have a manager if you plan to be successful in this industry?
Being a manager or having a manager, it's very important because the manager always guides the career, makes the decisions on the material, the auditions that are coming in, making sure that the client's not going to do something that when they show up on set is, scary for them to either a love scene that they don't want to be a part of. So it's very important to have a manager because it guides you on the right direction. If you're known for either being a wild or crazy on set, then the manager always tries to tone that down. Yeah. I've had a client that was a little, he would be nice to everybody, but when he showed up on set, he was someone else. But what it is just like, I think it, and he would say, no, Henry, it's just my process. That's my process. But I think everybody should be nice to everybody when you come on set. But having a good a manager to guide you through certain projects, TV and film, and even your social media now that with the new stuff that's coming out with all the new influencers and stuff like that.
Huge.
It's very important.
So our listeners can get a little bit of context. Can you please give us a little bit about yourself? Where are you from? Where were you growing up? And what was your family dynamic like?
I grew up here in Los Angeles, Sherman Oaks. My family was not part of the entertainment business. I had my brother, Felix. He actually was the one that got me into seeing great movies. He took me to see Roller Boogie. He took me to see the movie Grease and got me into the movie scene. And he was part of Hollywood, a little bit of part of Hollywood in the beginning of his career. And then he just decided to be a lawyer. It wasn't for him, but I continued myself. I love and a passion for
an entertainment lawyer?
No, not entertainment. Real estate lawyer.
Real estate lawyer. Cool.
Yeah.
That's what my brother literally just graduated Tulane Law, is now doing real estate law. So are your parents or your family, is your family still here?
No, not here. Just me and him. My other family's in Texas.
In
brothers
Texas.
and sisters.
Cool. I'm from Texas. Yeah, I don't know. Where you?
San Antonio and
cool.
Austin.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
How did you learn to take care of people? Was that a learned trait over the years, or is that something that like you grew up seeing, and was that part of your role model experience? Like, did you see it through your father or grandfather or anything like that?
No, I can't. I think I got it from my mom and my dad because they were always wanted to invite people in their house and give back food, whatever anybody needed. My mom and my dad were always those kind of people. So I think it just came from them, and they were always helping. So when I came to become a manager, it's like always wanted to please and help and get them to. And so I always ask everybody, what's your goal? Where do you want to go? What's your passion? What's your career path? Because some of these young men and women that come here, they go study to be doctors or lawyers or whatever, and then they go into the field, they don't like it, so then they want to fiddle with the entertainment business. And that's when I step in and tell them, okay, well, come and work on a set. Let's see what you might like. You might want to work with wardrobe. You might want to work with, explosions or what have you. And I always try to give an opportunity for.
Are you so inviting with people, like all types of people? Like when you hear, I mean, it sounds like you're very open to receiving new talent and being around new talent.
Yes.
Do you see talent? Do you see talent in everyone, or is there like a clear divided line of people that are really into it and can show you that?
Well, I believe that everybody deserves a chance.
Sure.
I believe that if you try something and if you like it, then give them a shot at it. I've had some assistants come here and go, well, I want to be an actor, but first they want to start off as assistants to learn the business, and then they become actors. I've had some assistants that wanted to go on to work with camera, so they would assist me, and then I would teach them on sets to go work with different departments.
And it sounds like you have an eye for seeing people for who they are and knowing, even just being here, you're telling me you're proud of me. And it's like, you see people, and not only that, but you see what their goals are, and you clearly, you can help them with their vision. It seems like you've done that for a lot of different people.
For many. Yeah. And I think it's very important.
How did you get into the entertainment world, and who was some of your biggest influence to get you in?
How did I get into the entertainment world? Yeah. Well, I started on a show called Silver Spoons with a young man, Alfonso Ribeiro. He was the one that brought me into this business, to the Hollywood business. I would come with him to Silver Spoons, a show back in the early 80s. Ricky Schroeder was part of that show. And Alfonso and we became good friends. And I would go to every Friday to the show and watch them tape and stuff. And then I took a liking to the show. I wanted to be a part of the show, helping, and so we became good friends, and we would hang out at my house, and he's the one that's responsible for my career in terms of making my transition from, I didn't know what I was going to do at the age of 18 or 19. Was I going to be a hotel manager, or I wanted to go into hotel management? That's what I went to school for.
Okay.
And then when I met him, it was like, okay, maybe I want to be a part of this.
Okay.
And what happened with him and some other actors, I became an assistant, helping out Corey Feldman and Corey Haim on their journey of License to Drive, Stand By Me, Lost Boys, part of those projects. Those kids were amazing. They were like the Hollywood at that time. Yeah. But those guys always said, oh, you're too good to be an assistant. You should be a manager. So then I said, okay, well, let me figure this out and how I could become this manager, but without working in an office, because I've never really worked in an office. So I don't know what it's like to be a manager in an office. So I've always done this on my own, and I used to work out of my house. And back in the day, you're going to get a good laugh. Okay. They used to make fun of me. They go, oh, you work out of your house.
What's the problem with working out of your house?
Right, I had an extra room, and I was
clearly this is great.
Working out of my house, and I still work out of my house. Yeah, But that they used to go, you should go, rent an office and whatever. And I was never into, couldn't be that kind of guy to go work for a management company. I just decided to do it for myself.
I admire the whole that journey, because you went through this hospitality industry, right? And you went through schooling for hospitality, for hotel management, and to be able to get people's, just hear people out and understand how to work things around. You learn that through that. And I think that training was a huge part of what 100%.
You said.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's get into your management company. What is Penzi Management, and who do you represent?
I just represent a little handful of guys. A good
handful of guys.
Carmen Electra, we've been together for, in the middle of the 1995, 96. 96. Yeah. We started off on Singled Out, and a couple of commercials before that. But I got Carmen, I got Vernon Davis, I got Joseph Baina, Rampage, and a couple of other crazy ones. Danny Amendola, a couple of the football guys that still Kyle Vanoid,
Wow. And Todd Gurley, maybe?
Todd Gurley,
Todd
yes.
Gurley, yeah.
Yeah,
Rob
but some of these guys,
Gronkowski,
Rob
you missed it.
Gronkowski.
Right, of course.
Some of these guys, they appreciate the work when it comes.
Yeah.
And then some go, well, I think what it is that they just have a little too much money, that it's when you offer them, a little crispy 100, they're just like, oh, maybe.
Maybe. So how many talent, do you know the exact number of how many people you rep? Or is it just growing?
Oh, it's just like 20.
20.
Yeah.
Is that the magic number for you? Because is there like a tipping point to that? Like
No more than 20.
Yeah, okay.
And now I'm just, I'm pivoting a little bit and just taking some advice from other managers that I'm moving into the directors. Representing directors.
Huge.
And I'm really loving it.
Yeah, I mean,
this year I just started, okay, I like it.
get ready to read a lot of scripts.
Yes.
Get ready. Yeah,
and
for
it's
sure.
fun. I mean, some of these directors that I'm working with, they're doing 2 movies a year and 2 TV shows a year. So it's going pretty smooth.
That's great.
I'm
And
excited.
because you have so much volume, I mean, 20 people is a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Is there...
But the good part that not all of them want to work.
That's good.
That's the good
But
part.
they don't all want to
No,
work?
they don't all.
Okay.
They're just, if it comes and if it's good, but most of them want to do charity stuff, which is good.
That's great.
Yeah.
And
some of them are still in the NFL, so they can't really do much.
Sure. But you can help them with we'll get to it, but there's a lot of volume with what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually met your assistant just a minute ago, but have you always had an assistant?
Yes. I've always had an assistant. I've had 2 Jakes at one time, and everybody was like, well, Jake from State Farm and Jake from which one is Jake? So, I had 2 at one time, and I've always had an assistant.
That's great. And clearly you need an assistant, but you also understand the value of assistant work, because we're about to get in here into your early beginnings, which started with your assistant work.
Yes.
You were working for the A-list superstar Mark Wahlberg for years. How did you guys both meet, and how many years were you together?
20 plus.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
Maybe 28, maybe.
Wow.
20 plus, yeah.
Wow.
We met actually at the Mondrian through a good friend of mine, Jeff Ballard, a publicist. And Jeff used to represent Punky Brewster, Soleil Moon Frye. And I remember him bringing me to the Mondrian. The New Kids on the Block were performing at the Universal Amphitheater, and I remember Jeff said, "Hey, we're having a party for the kids, New Kids on the Block. Come." And I met Mark there. He was there for a gathering. He was very young. I think he was 17. I think he was 17. I don't know if he even belonged there, but he was 17, and that's how I met Mark.
Well, I did see a picture. This is like off of the track here, but I did see a picture that you just showed me where it was the Basketball Diaries. That was around that time, wasn't that one of the first? That was one of the first movies he did.
Yeah.
Right.
Amazing
Movie. And an incredible Leo DiCaprio, Mark Wahlberg. Like that. That whole crowd was that was the up and comers.
Yes. Hopefully one day we'll see them together. I would love for them to team up one more time.
I would love. I don't see why they wouldn't. That's coming up.
And do something special.
100%. Could you share some insights of what it was like day to day, responsibility wise, with Mark? Like, what was it like as an assistant?
Well, there just wasn't just me being assistant. There was like 5 of us.
Oh wow.
So
okay, so what was your responsibility?
Well, my responsibility, I think at the beginning, being a good friend. Kind of just helping him as we went along here with his movies and stuff. Just first it started kind of like being the entourage, just being his friend and stuff. Right. And then he was the one that would tell the studios to hire, these are my guys, these are the guys that back us up. But it was a lot of fun. But one thing that was hard for me was his 4:30 regimen of working out and stuff like that. But I did it, and I did it because, and I thought it was very important because to keep me healthy. And I still follow his regimen of waking up, working out. It's important. Eating clean, eating healthy.
Good.
I still, every day when I wake up, I think about him and that he gave me that.
Wow.
And he not only given it to me, but to all our assistants, and always trying to keep everybody healthy. I remember Eric Weinstein, he put him in a closet and made him run and made him sweat. I mean, he would just have us push us to the edge to get better and feel better.
For sure. And you see all those videos about like, and I've seen you in a video actually. He's like, hold this, Henry, and it's like he's like about to do like the ab crunches and at his house, I guess. But it's clear that he involves you with that, and it's so cool that he involves you with that. I love the idea that 4 a.m. stuck with you. So are you an early bird now?
Well, not 4, but I'll do 7:30. You know, okay. I do 7:30. You know, or 7, and then I could be ready for to jump onto the office kind of thing. But,
for sure.
But 4 is a little hard for me.
I think 4 is a little hard. I did it for a while, and it is. There's something important about waking up and being that early bird gets the worm. Yeah. There's something important about that. I love that he has inspired you, and it seems like
very inspirational.
You know, you look at like Rasta and like that whole group of guys.
Rasta and Ace Thomas. Amazing. There was another young man that worked with us, Aaron. Aaron also was, an amazing group. He always assembled amazing group.
Sure. So I wanted to ask you, like, what were some of like the conflicts and things that not conflicts necessarily. What were some of the things that were challenges for you while working as an assistant that you've learned things that have helped you in your management today?
Not too much in a challenge because Mark made it fun for us.
That's good.
He wanted all of us to have fun and eat good. And he would every night he wanted us to have a great meal and eat healthy. I learned a lot, 100%, and it's made me who I am now as a manager because I've learned from him how to wake up and if you like hungry. So he always woke up hungry.
Yeah.
And it's like where he came from and where I come from, humble beginnings. He was a guy that, hey, what are they offering? Let's go get it. What are we doing today? Let's work. Get up. Okay, let's get moving. Let's get the workout. Let's get this done.
So he's a big motivator. Yeah.
Yes, he motivates all of us. So I feel that I do the same thing to my assistants or wherever I go when I work on a movie. And I say, okay, well, let's get moving because let's get it. Let's get it done.
It basically gave you drive, and it showed you a little bit of motivation and how to get people together motivated.
100%.
That's amazing.
Yes.
And what about some of the like memorable moments? I want to get into like some of the memories that you had, but like, what are some cool memorable moments and like things that you remember that you're like, I don't know. I put myself in some of those. Like, if I think back to some of my assistant days. I think about like being in those rooms with some of those amazing people, sharing those amazing stories. But what were some of the memorable moments for you? Was it more on set? Was it just behind the scenes? Was it traveling in the car, just the two of y'all?
Kind of like being on a private plane, having a glass of wine, and just feel like, hey, we did it. We were there for 10 months on a movie like Transformers that took us all around the world.
For sure.
I mean, and going to Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And promoting the movie, being a part of that big franchise was amazing.
Huge.
Just like those moments were amazing.
Was that your first private plane, and was that Mark's first private plane at the same time? Do you think, or do you think he had gone?
We've gone so many, but it was just enjoyable to go so far on just a private plane and be on for 16 hours straight or stuff
awesome.
Like that.
Yeah, the royalty of what you get on those airplanes are phenomenal. What about like your favorite cameo? It seems like Mark would put you in all these projects too, and you're showing me photos in the room. You're in Lone Survivor, you're in Entourage, you're in Pain and Gain, The Fighter. Like you're in all these movies. What was your favorite cameo?
I think Lone Survivor was the one. Was my favorite cameo, and during the filming too, when Mark did his last scene, I cried.
Oh, really?
I lost it. I couldn't. I was just seeing it live with the blood, and I even cried. But that was a great movie that we were part of, and I was so proud of being part of it.
And you got to die in Lone Survivor, correct?
Yeah, I got to die.
Yeah, you did. And so they're like rigged you up and had you all...
Yes, I died, and there was a young boy that was part of the movie, the little young actor that we had, and he cried because they said, oh, it's a rap on Henry, right? and with at that time Hamster, right? So there's a rap on Hamster, and everybody clapped and stuff, and the boy started crying. So they had to they had to put me on the movie again.
No
So,
way.
yes.
That's hilarious.
He wanted me to stay, so he thought I was leaving and stuff.
That's so
that
fun.
was a big moment for me. I was
yeah.
it was so touching.
That's so amazing.
Yeah.
And clearly those cameos they feel so it's you're a part of that. You know, it's
Yeah.
like you're behind the scenes, you're a part of it, but being in it, there's a whole nother level of like.
Oh no, of course.
That-
And Mark, he does that to all the assistants. He always wants everybody to be a part of the movie because we're all going to promote it. We're all with him. We go together with him and see the premiere and stuff like that. But he gave everybody an opportunity,
Right.
to be a part of something that he was.
It's great, and he obviously, like you said, he motivated you so much, but like there was clearly like Pain and Gain is that like build that that big bodybuilder build. You're
God,
for mass, right? But then you have like the Lone Survivor where you're like leaning out. So Mark goes through these crazy training days. Like we said, he involves you with it, which is really cool. Is there I heard, and I don't know if this is true. Tell me, was there 2 years of training for the fighter?
Yes,
Boxing?
2 years
Boxing? They moved like a boxing ring into his house,
in his
right?
house. Yeah, he had it built in his house.
Yeah.
And we would box in the morning, and he would box in the evening. He would have a crew in the morning and a crew in the evening.
Wow.
His preparation was very intense.
Wow. Yeah.
Very intense. And we all had to be in there, and when the box, the trainers didn't show up, then we had to get in there and box too. So I had a couple of punches here and there.
There you go. I did that too with Frank. That was something with me too. It's great.
It's fun.
Great. It's great. I love, and boxing gets you moving and,
Yes.
and lean down, and it's great. I love it.
The workout you get from the boxing was amazing. But the preparation that he did for that movie, The Fighter, was a long time.
Oh yeah.
Over 2 years.
We talk about like Mark, and obviously everyone knows that the Entourage movie was made out of Mark Wahlberg's life, his life, with his agent and his managers and his best friends and his brother and all these, it was clearly they made characters for each one of like his influences. We talk about Ace, we talk about Rasta, we talk about Eric. I know that there's been some, I want to clear the air because I don't know it, but when I was introduced to you, people said, you got to go meet Henry Penzi. I know you love Entourage, you got to go meet him. I'm like, Tell me. They're like, he's the real life E. And I know that we talked about this before, but there's like two parts to who E could be because
he is
Eric
Eric Weinstein.
Yeah,
Eric
okay,
Weinstein.
right.
He is
the E.
Actually, he is the 100% think that he was the creator of the show. It was his idea.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I always say that to everybody. It was his idea. Even Doug put it together, whatever.
Allen, yeah.
But the original idea came from Eric Weinstein. So he is the original E. But everybody's always, because I've known Mark as much as Eric Weinstein, we've been there together from the beginning.
Yeah.
And everybody always said, well, you're E. So I just said, I was part of it. And Mark would go along with it, and Eric would go along with it too. But it's him, he is the original E. But everybody, the character is made because he's kind of like quiet, but he is the original E. That's
fair. I got to give you credit and just say you definitely have evolved into exactly who E is, and I see it as your character. And when I was introduced to that, I still see you.
Yeah,
it still makes sense to me. I understand. I met Eric before too, but it's like that. I thank you for clearing the air.
Draw, the push, the fight.
Thank you for you weren't the pizza boy before, so that was Eric's or E's backstory.
Well, I was the pizza.
Were you?
Yeah.
You were the pizza.
Yeah. So it's like it's got the
Okay,
we're a little of everything,
There we go. Okay, so I want to say congratulations to you because Penzi management is so amazing. And you've managed some really amazing top tier talent from the NFL. We talked about this. You worked with Carmen Electra since the 90s, early 90s. And now you're working, you're talking with Rob Gronkowski about how, and you've called out, I read this, you called out Stallone and you called out Schwarzenegger saying, y'all are getting a little bit too old and I got a better guy for you. And so your whole plan with Rob has been to put him in the forefront of those action movies, make him that big star. How is that going? How's it been working with him throughout those years?
Well, it's been very smooth. I think just because he's a big a big kid, and he loves action, and he loves playing big games and stuff. So that's when I saw that in him. I thought, okay, this is a perfect way to put him in something special. And we went on to do Boss Level.
Yes.
And he played
the gunner.
The gunner. And then when I saw him do that, I said, okay, now I think he could go and play and be a part of a big franchise. Because he's got that character, that off kind of sidekick kind of guy where you could get a great laugh.
For sure. And he's so funny. He's like such a funny guy. And he's welcomed by a whole nother generation.
Yes.
So it's clear like Nickelodeon loves him. They have him playing Crash Leads.
Or the Crash Leads.
And then he hosted the Nickelodeon Kids Choice Awards 2022.
Yes.
And it's clear that he's built such an amazing variety or like big scope fan base. And you've been a part of it every way.
Yes,
every step
and
of the
it's
way.
been a journey, but it's fun, and it's not easy, but we keep moving along.
Yeah, it's very cool.
But hopefully, that day will come. I think the day will come for him and being the big action hero, because some of these guys are old.
Yeah.
We need some new guys.
I think that
there's only a handful, that are out there that could play bullies. There's only a handful that could be action heroes.
Hey, I'm just putting this out there, but I think we, twins, maybe a Danny DeVito, Arnold Schwarzenegger. We have Rob Gronkowski and somebody else.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
Peter Dinklage. I don't know. Who knows?
You never know. Maybe his friend Robert Goon, that's always been his right hand man for
that could be great
for Rob. They could do twins together.
That would be great. Yeah. Twins would be great. Okay, so Carmen Electra. What you said? 1996.
Yeah, we've been together since 1995.
95, okay. And you guys were together. You had seen her. What was the project that you saw her in, or at least you met her? How did the situation happen?
Oh my God. Well, that was just wow. So I met her at an event, and it was a Quincy Jones event, and I was there, and that's how I met her. And I think I met her on a Friday night or something like that. And she asked me what I did, and I said I was a manager. At that time, I was managing the kids on Saved by the Bell, Jonathan Angel and Natalia Sigliti. And she had asked me, what do I do? I said, a manager. And she goes, and I said, well, what do you do? And she goes, I'm a dancer. And at the moment, she was with Prince. She was part of Prince's, I think, protege. I think they were doing an album or something like that was coming together. And then I said, well, I'm a film and TV. And then she said, what could you do for me? And I said, well, let's try it. So I made a couple of phone calls. And on Monday, I had her a job right away. It was for a watch commercial for South America. I had a friend that just called and said, hey, we're going to do a big campaign for South America. I said, well, I got the perfect girl. And he goes, well, he didn't even know who she was. And at that moment, I didn't even know who she was, right? And then I'd walk around and tell people, because I really didn't know. I just know she was pretty, right? So I would show the picture to my friends. And when I showed it one day, the picture to Mark Wahlberg, I said, I'm going to represent her. And he started laughing. He goes, I know who she is. He's Carmen Electra. It's but it was a great, and it still is a great experience. We've gone from that commercial, and then I got her on Singled Out. Then we moved on to Baywatch and done some of.
You were involved in her experience of getting on Baywatch?
Yeah, the experience, yes, Baywatch and Singled Out, where we started on Singled Out.
Wow. Yeah.
We did a couple of small movies before, just because she wanted to feel what, how to do it and stuff.
Sure.
But I didn't feed her to the wolves, but she went in there and put the work.
She seems like a tough person, like a tough woman.
She's the type of girl that she's got to be the material's got to be there, and she's well studied up before she comes on set.
That's great. She seems very cool. That's an amazing client.
Yeah.
I do want to say that I had an experience with you that was. It was 2018. We were working on a Boss Level, and I had this experience with you where I got to see a little bit of how the Henry Penzi management works. I'd been running around the set with a camera, and you had seen me running around with the camera, and you said, "Hey, come over here." After we met, you introduced me to Rob and all that, and we had this talk, and you were like, "Hey, you know what? Would you want to shoot the front cover of the cereal box for Cheerios?" I mean, you don't understand. Young me, just mind blown. This would be the coolest opportunity. I was nervous to like take this opportunity up, but I was like, yes, I'm in. And we went through multiple times of talking about it and everything. I remember, and I didn't end up doing it, by the way.
Yeah.
I ended up seeing it in the stores and just being like, that is the coolest thing ever. So you're constantly a part of different brand deals and partnerships, and you see Rob being a part of this stuff. Do you help out with some of those brand deals and those partnerships?
I do, to bring in the brands to the clients. But I remember that situation. But I thought, because I like giving, and I saw how hard you work on set, and I saw you do your job, and I go, oh my God, I should bring this young man with me to come and shoot the cover. I mean, I thought you were amazing. So you did great for that movie. So I figured you could come with me and do something. But, I've always tried to provide opportunities for whoever.
Yeah, it seems like that's who you are. And that's when we go back to the hospitality. You're such a hospitable person, and you're very you're thinking about the next step for the other person, and I love that. It's selfless, and it's very, very, very cool.
Yeah, thank you. And for that, I might just gonna have to take a little shot, just a little small. Would you like one?
I'm gonna smell. If you want to pour me, I want to smell it.
Okay, let me let you smell it.
Let me see this.
Commissario.
Let me see.
Very tasty.
This is the añejo.
Reposado.
Oh, reposado. This does smell. It smells clean, nice. Ooh. That smells good. That is tequila. That is some tequila.
My good friends, the Maloof brothers, are owners of the Commissario.
This is your good friend?
Yeah, my good friends. They're owners of the Commissario.
Awesome. Yeah.
They brought me in as an ambassador, so I'm very proud of being a part of a great team. But
there you go.
Cheers to this.
Cheers. I wanted to go ahead and get into. Gronk has retired. Gronk has come back. Gronk has retired. Gronk has lived this crazy life. He's a partier. He's got this amazing spirit about him. I've seen him on stage at Steve Aoki one time, shirtless, shooting the little gun of steam, like literally just living his life in Miami. And you see him all over. And he's a partying, all this stuff. How does that play into the day to day? Is he ready to work as well too?
He's the type of guy. Work hard, play hard kind of guy.
That's what it seems like.
He loves to enjoy himself, and I think that's his personality. And speaking with the father and the brother, that said that he's always been that kind of energy, high energy guy. Yeah. But when he comes either to set or come to work or be a part of Fox as an analyst, he really always gets studied up and wants to come out. For sure. Looking great.
You said that some people don't really want to work. Some people do want to work. What if you found a project for somebody that was so perfect for them? Are you the kind of person or a manager that would be pushing it on them, or is that not something that you do? I mean, how do you convince some of these people that don't want to work?
That's not me. I present them the project, whatever it might be, TV or film or a big brand deal. And if they say, oh, not interested, sometimes it's a dagger to my heart because I feel, oh, my God, if we do this one could open another door, another window kind of thing. And there's been some of those jobs that I have presented to the client, and then the client say, oh, no, I don't want to do it. And then when they see it in TV and they go, is that all I had to do? One line? For $500,000, and it's just like
if you call me any day, Henry, and you say I got $500,000 for one line, I will say yes. It's not even a question.
In my whole career, there's only been one
like that.
One like that.
And I think you told me at one point it was like a Super Bowl ad.
Yeah, it was a Super Bowl ad, and just like I presented it once, and I think I would one more time just to say, "Are you sure?" And he goes, "Yeah." It was just one of those ads, and it was like the number one ad.
Yeah.
And I was kind of sad, but it's okay. More jobs come, and
for sure,
life is.
And I want to talk about just the industry specifically for management. You're constantly moving. There's so much going on with this, and it's a 24/7 kind of job. Like Rob right now is in Paris, right?
Enjoying himself.
But if he wanted to call you, you're on his hours. I mean, he'd be respectful and mindful of you. I know he's a great guy. But you're 24/7. Have you over the years found ways to put boundaries to being able to have better time for yourself? Or is it still a 24/7 overtime business and you're always
It's
on the
still
phone?
a 24 hours, and I don't mind it because it keeps me on my toes. I love it. It's I still have the passion for it. I've been doing this since 1980, I don't know, 4.
Wow.
And I still wake up and have the love, and I get excited. My whole thing has been that I like to see when I show up on set with a client, and he's all excited to be a part of the project. And after he's done, just the eyes, the glow, the happiness that, hey, we did it. We came here and did the job.
For sure.
I always like to see that in my clients, to make them happy.
Yeah.
It's never been about me. It's always been about my clients.
Yeah. And as far as like outside clients go, people are trying to pitch you all the time, are they not? So
I get that every day.
Every day. So
Yeah.
how do you know when to say no or when to say yes? You got 20 clients right now. So like clearly you can use that as your reasoning. But how do you look at somebody and you go, I really do see talent, I just don't have the bandwidth for it? Or do you open up availability so you can make like something work?
Well, I always try to just say, okay, let's try it. Let me send you here. Let me send you there. Let me get you a job and let's try it. That's the way I feel when I connect with the client. Because if I could go on a run with them and whoever it might be, then I go on a run. But if they say, oh, this is not for me. I'm the kind of guy that my clients that I have, they don't call me to say, get me a job. That's what I like about my clients. I'm always calling them and say, hey, I got a job for you. Do you want to do it or not? They're stable, they're happy, they're living their normal life, which is important. I think it's important for them to live a life, not just worry about a job or what have you, but they're comfortable to like, okay, let's do it. That kind of thing.
That's great.
Because it's just the way you say it, it's a lot of pressure calling the client and having the client call you and where's my career and why am I not working and stuff like that.
People have families and stuff like that. It's like very,
Thank God I don't have those clients.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't, they're always, okay. So, but I work hard for everyone. I just like to keep them going.
And I guess like...
I like to make stars.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
That's what I'm all about.
You build stars.
Stars, yeah.
You build stars.
I think I've been responsible for a handful.
Yeah, I'd say.
Bringing them from the bottom to the top.
That's great.
And
and
I'm still going at it.
Well, they're also a lot of these stars have their own. They're constantly working at their craft, and it's like they don't have to like call you to get that done. You're doing things on their back end so that they can be as successful as they possibly can be going forward and moving forward in the future. Correct.
Correct.
So it's a teamwork thing, and it's constantly moving. I remember one moment between us. We sat for lunch, you and I, with Mel Gibson. Oh my God! And he's the coolest. He's the coolest. But he was talking to us about Passion of the Christ. He was talking to us about what he's up to nowadays and his family and all this stuff. And we were just chatting about just life, right? And I felt so comfortable we were on set and it just felt very comfortable. Is there, can we talk about some of the people you've met and some of the connections you've made? Just by being in this business?
Well, being around him was very comfortable, right? But sometimes when you get around other stars, so now I don't see them as stars. I see them as just like friends or human beings or stuff like that. But like you're saying, the starstruck wasn't there. It was comfortable being around somebody with a lot of knowledge, and which he gave us a lot of knowledge on what he was doing. And I try to like draw from that. I really try to draw from that. When I see somebody, it's not too much of a that moves me like be a star. Oh, just say hi.
Yeah.
Would you like to take a picture? Well, I'm not into that.
Well, the top tier of talent. I mean, you're with Mark Wahlberg, but I just saw a photo you just showed me, and multiple photos. This isn't just like one photo here. He's got multiple photos with Leonardo DiCaprio, Jim Carrey, like all these people. It's like you're constantly surrounded by the top upper echelon of like amazing talent, and it's so cool to see because you're talking about like there's no starstruck. There isn't. They're just friends.
No,
at
they're
this
just
point.
friends.
They're friends.
Yeah,
they're friends, and that's really that's the way
important.
it should be.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk to you about this. We're getting close to the end of this. But yeah,
I'm here.
I know. It is great. You're sipping tequila,
Yeah.
so we're good. We got you for a little while. So how savvy are you with social media? It seems like the main audience has shifted their day to day to like devices. And how do you help manage clients with social media, or is that just a different department?
That's a different department. I'm not too savvy with the social media, but that's why I have an assistant that on that age that could just like guide me through there, or he jumps on it. But most of my clients have their own social media managers, which they call now managers.
Right.
Or at the beginning it was their assistants doing it for them, but now they want that title of social media management, and they deserve it because it is a job. Doing the social media for a client is a job.
Sure.
It's not easy.
No, for
and
sure.
I got to give it to them because at the beginning with GRONKOWSKI, I was fumbling with that. I hated it. It was like, you got to do a post, you got to do this. I was like, this is not for me. Until he found a social media young lady that helps him.
And that you let that go.
Yes, because that's just enough that I have to deal with the production with 30 to 40 people on a production when he's working, like the wardrobe, the makeup, the director, the lawyer. I'm dealing with everybody for one job. And then not to deal with the media guy. Okay, I help him coordinate to come and shoot when he's there, give him the time to shoot. But it's difficult to then now post. You got to post on Monday. You got to post on Tuesday.
Oh, it's ridiculous, and it's all in theory of what the algorithm will be, and if it's the most anxiety-driven thing of all time, social media. But at the same time, it is exactly what it is now. It helps,
and it brings value to the client.
Right.
It brings
Can you
revenue.
Can you leverage that? Can you leverage their number of followers?
100%. Now I think it's changed dramatically with the influencers, the way everything is going now. Maybe the AI stuff that's changing for everybody, but it just gives you, now they pay you for which I got to stay up with this, the Joneses or
keeping up with the Kardashians or the Joneses?
The Joneses. Well, no, I'm just always trying to get the education from the younger generation. But it's just like if you have more social followers, then you could post and get paid and what have you. And good for them. I'm excited.
No, for sure. Do you see that with your clients? Is that
it comes with some brands.
We need you to post this.
Yes.
We'll pay you this.
Yes.
Get this out. This is exactly what it is. Make sure it says #ad. That is something you deal with, correct?
Well, I get the offer and then I pass it on
to the social manager. Cool. So I like that. There's tiers to the way that social media works.
Yes.
Okay, so what about clients? Do you ever have clients reach out to you, like your clients, like will Rob ever call you or Carmen will ever call you and say, I want this job, make it happen? Is it something that you deal with?
Not really. Because I mentioned to them that this, as an analyst to Rob, or this is on the books, would you want to try it? Same thing with Carmen. Carmen wants to work being on a panel, like Jenny McCarthy. So that's that's my goal right now, to go after something for Carmen. She wants to stay here in LA. She loves traveling, but she would rather stay here in LA and have a job, just a steady job like Jenny McCarthy and all the other girls.
And very successful, Jenny McCarthy.
Yeah,
for sure. What about thank yous? Clearly, and this is why I did this, because I want you to have a little bit of a moment to be able to, for somebody to say thank you to you, because I feel like you've just, knowing you for these years, I've known how much work goes into what you do. And I'm curious, do some of these talent ever, will they reach out to you and say, hey, or is it like a drunken phone call? Or is it like, hey, what are you doing right now? Are you smoking something? What's wrong with you? But do they ever call you out of the blue and say, I can't thank you enough for what you do. You've changed my life. Do you remember any moments like that?
Yes, I've had a couple of those moments.
Sure.
Yeah. With Vernon.
Okay.
Vernon, we've had during the pandemic, we've had a big run. We've did so many jobs that I was shocked. He was shocked. And I think it was the thing that diversity was changing. So I think the whole town was calling for him. So we did so many. If I could give you the number, I would rather him
Sure.
You ask
know what?
him when
it's
you
actually funny because I do have Vernon's number in my phone. I do. We could call him in.
Oh, yes.
Would you like
see?
to?
Yes, I love to.
Okay, well, I mean, this is something that I'd like to do this because I feel like it's better to hear from him. Let's see.
Of course.
Let's see. I have, hopefully it's the correct number. That'd be great. It's ringing.
It's ringing. Well,
It's
maybe
ringing.
I could scream at my assistant and give him a text.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
He called you at 4:30.
Please leave your
Kyle, could you text Vernon and tell him that we need some verification over here?
There we go. You know what? This is part of the editing process right
Yeah.
here. This is why we can edit.
Here we
This
go.
is the moment that we just...
No, you could leave it in there. This is the process.
This is definitely part of the process. We can wait for this.
Yeah.
We'll wait for it.
Hello.
Hey, Vernon.
Hey.
Hi, Zach Pringler here. I'm here with Henry Penzi. How are you?
Hey, how are you?
Hey, you got a second? We're recording a podcast episode, and we just wanted to say hi real quick and talk about Henry.
Yeah. You want to do it now?
Yeah, man, it'd be great. It's a quick, couple quick questions for you. First off,
Yeah.
congratulations on all the recent success. It looks awesome. Morgan Freeman, that's like the coolest thing ever. So congrats. I
Thank
wanted,
you, sir.
yeah, man, I wanted to talk to you about how important Henry has been to your career.
Oh, Henry's he's special, man. He's like he means a lot to me. He's really helped me with my career, and I'm a very appreciative person. I was raised to be right by people, do right by people, do right by people who are right by me, if that makes sense. He's one of the biggest components to my life and helped me with my career and just everything. I love him like a brother, father, uncle, all of the above.
It's so cool. And he said y'all worked a lot during the pandemic. Is that right?
Yeah, I've done like since the pandemic, since I retired from football, I've done like maybe I lost count, but I'd say anywhere above like 40 projects, movies, shows, hosting, about 40 something projects, which is like unparalleled.
Wow. That's huge. That's huge. And Henry seems like a man of complete loyalty. What does loyalty mean to you and generally speaking?
Yeah, he's very loyal, man. I leave $1 million in front of him. He's the most loyal person I've ever met. He's very loyal. He's a giving person. He's similar to me when it comes to people, just how he treats people. He lives his life on treating people good and how people he wants people to leave with a good feeling in their heart when it comes to him.
That's what I see about him too. And I'm curious. I'm really curious. My last question for you is there a moment that you were just like maybe you both were traveling together or working together on set, or you guys were out to dinner, like a high, like a moment where you were like, I'm proud of this relationship. Is there something that you remember? Proud of Henry?
A moment proud of him?
Yeah, just something that you guys have shared together. You're like, I was proud of Henry. This is the moment.
I would say, let me see. Probably, yeah. I'd say when he, I know how hard Henry works. He works extremely hard. He don't ask for nothing. He just puts the work in. He recently bought a house, and I know how bad he wanted the house. And when I went to go see it, he put a lot of work into it. And that house, he has an office, and in that office he has Joseph Pena, who's the son of Arnold Schwarzenegger. He has Rob Gronkowski. He has me in his office. He has a section for all of us. And when I saw that, I was like, wow, Henry, all the hard work that he put into like helping us, it also helped him. Because as we go up, he's able to go up and have success when it comes to just his career and financially, So it was a proud moment for me to see him be able to do that.
It's also really cool for me walking through his house and seeing this house for the first time, which it's very cool that you notice it like that. But I walked in and he has like the framing of you. And he's like, he walked over and he's like, this is Vernon Davis. Like, it's like, he is so proud of you and everything that you guys have done together. And there's like, it's almost like this fun shrine. And I think it's one of the coolest things.
Yeah. No, it is cool. I think the coolest thing is that you know, as we continue to do work, it's like work just confines us now. You know, we were looking for work, but now work is finding us.
For sure.
It's the craziest thing. Sometimes I sit back and I be like, man, okay, like if we're not doing movies, you know, someone's asking us to do shows, and you know, this is coming along. It's just like it's like an olive jar. Like once you like start doing something, they just keep on falling. Things just keep on falling like an olive jar.
Yo, congrats on all this amazing success. Like, it's so cool. And I just saw the clip with Morgan Freeman. I can't wait to watch the movie and check that out. It's so cool that you're taking that leap into, like, you know, 40 projects. Oh my God. Like, you're working. And it's so cool that you have such a good team and such a good manager. It's awesome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, thank you, Vernon, for those kind words.
Oh, no problem.
He's
no
sitting
problem.
over here chugging tequila while you're talking this nice
Damn,
about
I'm
him.
on half of the bottle already.
Oh yeah,
Commissariо, the best.
come on, Sonya. That's right. That's right.
That's right. Hey, Vernon, thank you again. I really appreciate you. This has been awesome. I appreciate your time.
Okay, no problem. You're welcome. No problem, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey,
Vernon.
enjoy the rest of your day. I can't wait to show you this episode. It's gonna be awesome.
Oh, I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, a lot to learn about Henry. That's for sure. All right. Well, thank you,
All right,
Vernon.
I'll talk to you guys.
Sounds
No
good.
problem.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.
That is awesome.
I think we did 21. I thought he was going to say 21 during the pandemic, and then after the pandemic, we kept going.
It's clear how much he has so much respect for you. Like, it's clear that, like, that is a working relationship. Do you feel like you have that with everybody? Like, is that
I have it with the clients, all the clients.
top
yeah.
clients, like-
yeah, it's not easy to get a job here in Los Angeles and Hollywood, be a part of Hollywood. You know, you have to audition, you have to look the part, you got to be able to bring it, and that's what I saw in Vernon, and same thing with Rob and Carmen, because they don't want anything handed to them.
No.
They're not that kind of people. Same thing with Joseph. Joseph works very hard. He doesn't want his father or anybody to hand him anything. He wants to put in the work and show what he could do. And that's important to all my clients. And I love that about them.
And that's the through line to majority of the people you work with is like they're self-willed and they want to make something happen, and they are allowing that like creative process where you get to work with them and let them shine their best ability. It's so cool. It's hand in hand.
Because they
so
know where they came from.
Yeah.
So they still have it in them that they know where they came from.
Yeah.
So any dollar doesn't mean anything. It's just the project.
The athlete mindset
Yeah.
that's on and off the court or the field or whatever. It seems like these guys have it for the film industry. They were able to switch their focus, and it seems like Rob or Vernon were able to just like really take their training into a whole nother level of, you know, exposure.
And business. Yeah, 100%. I think also we've changed, and I think I've been a part of the history change of NFL players making the transition to being in TV and film. I know before, I think Shaquille did it and stuff, and then it slowed down a little bit. But I think GRONKOWSKI and Vernon have opened up the doors for other NFL players to be a part of the entertainment business. I've seen that in the past 3-4 months that they've really now I see other kind of NFL players that want to dabble and be a part of TV and film, and which is important because the kids are growing up. Yes, they see them playing football, but now they see them on TV, and it's very important. So I feel that I've been part of something, history, that, kind of changing the eyeballs of the young kids where they see their famous football player playing football, but now they see him on TV.
It's an awesome thing
Because it's not easy to see a football player with a helmet because you can't see their face. You can't see their personality. But I think by me showcasing them and giving them an opportunity of being a part of Hollywood is something special.
And looking to the future, because we've now covered your early life. We've covered what you're doing management wise, but like, are there things that you're trying to do outside? Clearly the tequila.
Well, yeah, clearly the
tequila.
Being the ambassador of the Comisario I'm so proud of it. It's a smooth drink. I rarely drink, but when I drink, I drink.
You're giving the
when I drink, I drink.
You're doing the Dos Equis
Yes,
man right
exactly,
now.
Yeah. Well, when I drink the Comisario. It's gotten so many medals.
Yeah, you were showing me that. It's got so many different like reviews and medals.
Yeah, and it's very tasty. It's very smooth. It's not harsh at all. The partners that are involved with the Comisario, the Maloof brothers, they've been in the liquor business for many, many years.
Yeah.
They're
And they have
been a great family, a good partners. I was so excited when they called me up and say, Henry, we want you to be a part of it. So I love it, and I don't mind campaigning.
Yeah,
it's fun to me. I helped Mark campaign for the Aqua Hydrate.
Right.
The water.
The water. Mark's water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was fun. And it was a learning experience. Like I say, I learned so much from Mark.
Yeah.
And I owe him my career.
Yeah.
To him.
And F45 too, right?
I was not part of the F45,
okay,
but part of the Aqua Hydrate.
Which,
I learned. So now being, helping with the Maloof brothers, being part of the Comisario, I'm excited. I want it to go everywhere.
Great. And you're also doing AI Smart Picks. You're wearing the shirt right now. What is
this?
What is this?
Well, it's Smart Picks. It's giving...
it's an AI for sports.
For sports, for all sports. It's going to be giving you, like, tips of who to bet. The team. Or how many points is LeBron going to score tonight?
Great, yeah. So it's
who's going to win tonight? The stats. Yes, I'm excited to be a part of this team. I'm one of the owners with the guys. And Vernon is part of the team, too.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's for all sports.
Yeah.
Just to give you a little knowledge of who to bet. Instead of just going to the counter and betting... $100 on, okay, tonight the Lakers are going to win or the Spurs or what have you. It'll give you, your odds. It'll give you, who's going to score more points, who's going to have more free throws. I mean,
that's very cool.
I'm really excited to be a part of the Smart Picks.
And it's very cool, and we're in a special time with AI, which is scary, and I get it. It's scary. Also cool.
Yes,
it's a cool tool.
AI could write your script right now.
I know. Just write me some more questions for Henry. I'm just kidding. Okay, so I want to get some advice going. This is the end of the our chatting, but I think this is the most important part. You go to a lot of film festivals and you see there's they ask at the very end. They say, "What is the advice you give to the?" And it's the same question over and over. But I want to direct the advice specifically to the people that would be tailoring to your career. So, what tips would you give to somebody that's trying to enter the business as a talent manager?
What tips would I give them? Oh, wow. Just to be humble. Don't worry about the money. The money will come. It comes. If I could tell you the money that I made when I first started as a manager, you would say, why were you doing this? My commission was $44 because at that time, SAG was like $444 per day, and these actors were working for scale. Don't ever look at it. Don't go into it for the money. Go into it for the love, the passion, giving back, and leaving a legacy of what you could give back to somebody and changing their life. And I think that's very important. Don't go in there and say, I want to be a manager because they make a lot of money. Or you could own a big house. Or you could have a fancy car. That doesn't mean anything. That's all materialistic. I think it's important, if you go into it for the love when you're trying to change somebody's life.
I love that. And it seems like that's exactly who you are and who you become just from listening to this podcast. That's who I see you as. What about the advice for somebody that wants to become talent?
A talent?
Yeah, somebody that wants to become talent.
Well, there's a lot of talent.
Find a manager. Find a good manager.
Find a manager that will take a chance on you, but don't go in there and be aggressive and say, I could do this, I could do that, I could act, I could do that. I think a talent is when you let somebody see, and somebody comes up to you and says, "Hey, you're very talented. You sing really well." The Comedy Store, or when you go see those guys with the comedy, and you say, "Oh God, you're very talented," when they could just come up with something in a split second. But the advice that I have to give to a talent is go after it. You got nothing to lose. We're only here one time. We're here in a short time. We never know when our life is going to end. But give it a shot. If I have my passion to say I want to be an actor, and you don't want to say I did it, I should have done it. No, I think you should just go and try it. Everybody deserves a chance. So you never know when you're going to be discovered. You could be at a comedy store and do a stand-up and get discovered. You could be on Hollywood Boulevard and you just could be flying around, you could be discovered. I mean, you could be in Venice Beach and ride a skateboard or roller skate with a boombox and get discovered.
For sure.
So there's so many ways you could be discovered as a talented, whatever you do.
So get out there and get after it.
Yeah. Just
nothing,
go.
Nothing to lose.
I always encourage people, hey, give it a shot.
Yeah.
You want to, if you ever wanted to look like I want to let you know that when I was looking out, we had a lot of friends with Corey Feldman and Corey Haim. There was like 8 of us that, so many actors that were just friends, but they would go to acting school. They were going to classes on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, spending this money in acting school. I said to them one day, I said to all those young friends of mine, Jason Lively, Kevin Tillis, I told them that one day I'm going to become a producer or a manager, and I'm going to get you, because those guys never had an opportunity to be in a movie or a TV show, but they were spending all this money. So now that they're older, I always call them and say, hey, it was in your bucket list to be an actor. You did it when you were younger. You used to come to my house. You were going to acting class, doing your thing. Then you never got the opportunity to get in the TV shows or the movies. I'm a producer now. Let me get you in there.
That's great.
It's on your bucket list. And that's why I want to give back to those guys that spent all that money, the friends, the girls. I was like, I'm going to acting class. I'm going to acting class. Okay. And then we would say, did you land anything? No. It's not easy. Hollywood's not easy. It's not easy for everybody.
No.
I mean, it's very difficult to break into it. But once you're in, But now, that was back in the day. Now, today, I feel like everybody's a star.
Oh, yeah.
The
Everyone
influencers. So now I feel like it's changed. And I got to stay up with it. So it's just like all the influencers, they're stars.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they got value.
Money.
I mean, yeah, my friends tell me they're making $100,000 a week. I go, well, $100,000 a week?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's just like, and I feel that all the mega stars that we were like, Brad Pitt, everybody's value has come down a little bit because of all this change.
Yeah.
With the influencers.
Well, you look at music festivals, they're lining it up with people that are TikTok stars.
Yes.
It's crazy. The value has changed. And clearly there's it's a new path, a new road for the influencers. I want to ask you real quick.
And I love that they engaging on this great opportunity. It's changing for all of us.
Yeah. I mean, it's something that you have to roll into at this point. There's no stopping the social media train. That's not happening.
It's not.
What is some of the advice that you would give to somebody that wants to work in the industry and would start out as an assistant? I've worked as an assistant before, but you worked for 28 years or roughly. What are some of the advice you'd give to somebody who's never worked on a Hollywood film before, or for any actor or for anybody? What's some advice for an assistant?
To stay loyal, learn as much as you can, and just always be right next to whoever you're working, because you'll never know when the day will come and you'll give an opportunity to try something different. And that's what happened to me. Being an assistant with Mark Wahlberg and learning so much from him and how aggressive he was and how he would get up in the morning and how hungry he was, I felt like, wow, I should be like him. but working with him was amazing. I learned so much.
For sure.
Yeah.
And that's what you said. I think that's so cool that he was just such a motivator. But I like that. Stay close to the person that you're with and stay loyal.
And loyal.
And stay loyal. Okay, couple more advice. That's it. And then
We're good.
We're gonna and then we're wrapping this
I'll
up.
have another shot. No.
Yeah, exactly. of the
Commissario.
commissario.
Here we go.
Commissario. Okay, so what's something that so people can learn from your success? What's something that people can learn from your success? I just asked that question twice.
Well, can learn from my success. Well, you just gotta stay humble, loving, and care for everyone. That's always been my whole MO kind of thing, because I've always loved people, but it's never been about me. But my success has come by people that I work with and the love that I get from the clients that I represent. And it's not just me, but we grow together.
For sure.
And it's always been about not me, about us growing together.
You know, there's times that like I specifically wanted to fly. Like I wanted to run as fast as I possibly could and fly, but I knew that there was clearly a process to the way that your life is supposed to go. You worked as an assistant for a long time, and I'm sure at some point you wanted to be the manager, Henry Penzi. And there was clearly like you were waiting for the right moments to do so. How important is it to work your way up in your industry and to start from that point where you're meeting everyone at that base level, so that when you're ready to make that jump, that it's the right moment too? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's just now I would just encourage, if somebody wants to become a manager, just to go work at a management team, because things have changed with the influencers and everything has changed. But at my time in the 80s and 90s, well, then just, open up an office and figure it out on your
literally.
own kind of thing. But it just now, I think the education's more important to go work for an agency.
Yeah.
Right? And then become a manager. Because most of these agents now, during the pandemic or right after the pandemic, a lot of the agents have broken out to become managers.
Okay.
Yeah, they've gone on and I think it's okay, but then I think it's kind of wrong.
Leaving the agency
to
start becoming managers.
Yeah.
Huh.
But someone that wants to become a manager, I think it's important to go work for a big management firm that they handle a lot of influencers or the new up and comers, or
for sure,
or just to learn,
just to get that in,
because it's not easy to go out on your own and create new clients and stuff like that. I don't see it. It's kind of difficult, but it's not truthful to the agencies to work for the agency and then walk away with their clients and be a manager. I think that's very wrong too.
So I want to wrap up here by saying, first off, thank you for opening up this window into your life. It's very cool, and I hope that one day, I'm hoping you write a book.
My book, yes. I was represented by an agent, Jack Gilardi, that's responsible for my career also. He got me a good deal with MGM one time, and he said, you're not gonna make any money being a manager. You got to become a producer too. You'll be a producer and be a manager, you'll make it. And then he said that 10% was not enough. So when he said that to me, I said, one day I will write a book, or maybe write something. I would write a book that say 10% is not enough.
Called 10% is not enough. I kind of like that. That's a good title.
Because it's not easy to make $100,000 this year. I got to get you $1 million.
For sure. And that's just one client.
And one client. That's not easy. With the economy being the way it is, the influencers taking over, the actors, their values coming down, it's not easy.
Absolutely. Well, I really appreciate this today, and
thank you.
I can't thank you enough. I hope that I hope that this has been inspiring for some people that are listening to this. I know it will be, and thank you again.
Yeah. No, thank you.
You are awesome. Thank you so much for this.
One more cocktail.
One more cocktail. Wait, but from where? Where is the cocktail coming from? Commissario.
Here we go.
Never felt more cheesy on a product placement in my
I
life.
love it.
All right.
Very good. Joseph, could we get a picture together for the commissario, or did we get it?
There we go.
Okay, good.
Is now
Hey.
that time to say I didn't record? I'm just kidding.
No, oh my God, really?
I'm just kidding.